Hello Internet and welcome to my Psyche Wavetables pack presentation and overview video. So what is Psyche Wavetables? It's a wavetable pack made by yours truly. It contains 223 high quality wavetables compatible with serum, vital pigments, Diva, faceplant, you name it. As long as the synthesizer accepts serum's format, which is 2NT 48 frames, well, the wavetables are going to work perfectly. I've grouped the wavetables in several folders that represent their sonic character, but for the analog one, which actually represent from where I sampled those wavetables. And they are best played between C0 and C1, but for a few which are best played between C-1 and C0. Now, let me show you how they sound and how I imagined they should be used, because, every time I create something and I think it should be used in a certain way, people use it in a whole different way, which is 10 times more creative. So yeah, starting with the analog wavetables, we have 4 analog synthesizers that I've sampled, and pretty sure there will be many more in the future. The idea is that you have the basic waveforms, so the saw wave, the triangle, the PWM, and this will give you, well, the raw timbre of the oscillators of these synthesizers inside of Serum, and also I've FM'd all of them. So here's the FM from the Dominion MFB, or MFB Dominion, sorry. So let's take it one octave lower because I'm playing between C1 and C2. Now we have this, check this out. Okay, we have some delay in here. Let's take it off. And if I'll add a little note on random, right, sounding already really gritty in analog. Gritty sounds. And same goes for the Model D. You have FM. This is one of the juiciest FMs, by the way. Check this out. And also for the Model D, we have the saw wave. The hot saw wave is actually a saturated saw wave, and I did that by adding or dialing some feedback on the Model D itself. So you're getting like this analog or pure analog warmth, bro. Yeah. And of course, there's the everything with hot in it. It means it has been overdriven inside of the synthesizer itself. Mofo, same story. We have the FMs. Right. We have the simple waveforms, PWM, saw, triangle, saw, tri. This is a really nice wavetable, by the way. And I've also sampled the synchronize. So you can get those like really weird and screamy analog tunes that then you can filter out, add some effects to them, and go really crazy. Right, and all it takes is just like playing a little bit with the wavetable position in here, adding like few effects just to tame the harsh higher frequencies, and you're good to go. And of course, same goes to the neutron, but we have filter FM, we have the formants. The formants on the neutron are really, really exceptional. You can hear this gritty character those formants have, because it doesn't have a formant filter on it. So you create this actually by boosting the resonance of the cutoff, and it gives you this kind of result. It's just, I think it's incredible, and it's really gritty and has a lot of character that, it's a bit hard to achieve with traditional wavetable synthesizers. Anyways, we have PWMs, we have shapes, the modulation here. These are like chaotic wavetables that are supposed to be played to create some glitchy effects, or kind of like really weird glitchy leads. Like you can actually take an LFO here, maybe set it to a couple of bars, or you know what, set it to a bar and create like a really simple sequence with it, something like that. Okay, set it to free. Maybe faster. You can like or we can just like go with a crazy. Let's remove this and go with a crazy note on random. Right, and maybe you can like filter this with a bandpass filter. Okay, let's modulate this with an LFO, just like this. And then you can add maybe a comp filter in here. Let's add a filter. Go with the flanges comp. You know, let's add another note on random in here, note on random 2. But this time I'm going to make it modulate like an on and off message. Alright, and with the kick and bass. I'm modulating way too much that feedback, but you get the point. Alright, next we have the chaotic wavetables or the chaos wavetables, and they're exactly the same story as with the neutrons chaos wavetables. You can load a wavetable, maybe create a really simple sequence of maybe like 1 bar, exactly like I did with those with the other wavetables or something like that. You know, just take it 1 octave lower. So like we've just created a really simple sequence out of these wavetables. This is the whole point of these wavetables. You can create a sequence or just create like a really weird, glitchy kind of lead. Well, this is how I imagined or how I will use them, but I'm pretty sure that you're going to come up with crazy ways of using them. So yeah, be as creative as possible and don't forget to show me what you do with them. Up next, we have FM and grits. Well, this is, the name says it all. These are wavetables meant to give you FMs. So, for example, my favorite ones, you have the gibberish ones. I really love these ones. Take them down 1 octave. Listen to this. See, we can take this wavetable 1 octave lower. This is an example, of one of the wavetables we can take another octave lower. By the way, I don't know why I've added sync in here. There's no need for sync. You can you have a moving FM feeling just by moving the wavetable position. Most of these wavetables are meant to be patches themselves that you can use actually without any filtering, or maybe just like a slide high pass, or maybe a little bit of low pass and just effects, and you got a running patch. I mean, check this out. Okay, let's add a high pass. See, there's no need for effects or filtering to get something going. So imagine when you start actually manipulating these wavetables and adding, crazy effects and filtering to them. Here's another wavetables that I really love, the Tan FM. These are actually sampled from, a special friend of mine. Check this out. They're not sampled from his gear, but they're inspired by him, actually. I don't know why I said sampled, but check this out. Like, okay, let's take off the delay. That's too much. You can add a little note on random in here. Take it 1 octave lower. This is what I love about these wavetables. You get some crazy timbres just by modulating the coarse pitch of them. Okay, maybe this one, take it 1 octave higher. Here's another example for the FM in grids. So if I modulate the wavetable position here with a note and random, check what we'll get. You can actually create question and answer games just by modulating with the wavetable position. I'm modulating right now with a note and random, but we can actually remove the modulator, take an LFO, modulate with an LFO. Again, let's make a really simple 1 bar sequence in here. So we'll go with something very simple, free. Of course, we can set this to maybe dotted. 1.5 bars, so we get something moving, not static, like not a static sequence. I'm trying to keep it simple in here for the sake of the example, but the point is you can create Q and A sequences just by modulating the wavetable position, just like with the chaotic wavetables. Next, we have the Formant Wavetables. This one will give you like a throaty character, like this one, for example. And the point of these wavetables is to actually create really big atmospheres. Check this out. If I'll crank the unison count in here, maybe less detuning. Right, let's take off this high pass EQ. You can modulate the position really slow. Right, and just a little low passing. And if I'll add like a really big reverb, like from the future verb in here, these are the settings if you want to copy them. Maybe you can take another digital Formant wavetable. Filter it with 24 dB per octave filter. Maybe add a slight distortion to it. And you got yourself a soundscape. Next, we have the Grainy Wavetables, and these ones are meant to give you the vibe and the sound of the grain oscillator of the virus, but just pushed to a whole new level, to things that the virus can't actually make. I mean, for example, check this out. Let's take it 1 octave lower. You can use this for an FX, for example, or like those timbres you can't get with the virus. But you're still getting the feeling of it, right? Check this one out. And you can use them as a lead with a little bit of maybe like coarse pitch modulation, or you can add again some reverb to them. Next, we have the Spectral Wavetables, and those wavetables, in my opinion, are best used to create FM or to create those bell kind of sounds, like the DX7 style bell sounds, but in a psychedelic way. I mean, check this out. Let's take, for example, almost like acid wavetable, right? And let's use it to FM a sine wave on oscillator B. So oscillator B, I'll actually keep it to default shapes, set it to a sine wave. Let's phase modulate from oscillator A. By the way, oscillator A sounds like this. Let's turn off note and random. Stick it on the floor. By the way, those almost like acid are kind of like acid sounds. All right, let's take the first one again. Phase modulate this sine wave. So turn the volume down of oscillator A. Check this out. We got a really gritty FM in here. And of course, we're not limited to almost like acid. We can take another wavetable. Let's say, I don't know, fractal bloom, for example, which sounds like this on its own. Which is almost like a grain oscillator, but when it FMs, it makes this. Check this out. Okay, let's turn it down. Right, and what we can do now is actually modulate the wavetable position with a note and random, and we will get a moving sharp FM. Check this out. Right, we can filter that with a bandpass filter. So send oscillator B to the filter. With some delay, we got a really nice lead going in here. Now the same wavetable, fractal bloom, let's take it to an octave lower, right? Let's give it a plucky envelope from envelope number 1. We'll get this. So we get like a plucky sound, like a bell plucky sound. Let's modulate the wavetable position with the first LFO, set it to 3. Right, we already got a really nice movement, and now we can modulate the coarse pitch, and we'll get this. Check this out. Maybe a bit less probability, maybe 1 on 4 divisions. Give it more unison just for the timbre. With the kick and bass. Lastly, we have the sweeps wavetables, and this is where the magic happens. These wavetables are the essence of the patch is the wavetable itself. I mean, check this out. Let's take antennas, for example. Let's take it 1 octave lower, no note on random whatsoever. Let's take the first LFO, make it modulate the wavetable position, set it to a ramp up, envelope mode, 1 bar, and check this out. By the way, we have some EQ in here. Let's take it off. Check this out. We just got ourselves a sweep. That easy. Just sweeping through the wavetable position, we got ourselves a sweep. Of course, we can invert that. Right? Let's choose another one. For example, bubbly cardio. This one is a lead, like really juicy lead by itself. Let's add a note and random in here and check this out. With some kick and bass. Right, let's turn off the note on random in here. Let's listen to the wavetable itself, just to have a sweep. Now let's take this LFO, sweep throughout the wavetable. Right, let's take another one. Let's go with all diesel engine. Sounds like this. Another kind of pseudo grainy wavetable that can be a sweep or it can be a lead. I mean, check this out. Let's add a note on random, modulate the wavetable position kind of in a random way. Let's add like an LFO maybe on it. Let's set it to a triangle LFO. Can now modulate the coarse pitch. We got a really crazy lead going on. With the kick and bass, we have this. crazy sounds. That was in a nutshell the overview and the presentation of my Psyche Wavetables pack. If you want to support me by grabbing your copy, you can check the Gumroad link down in the description. Yeah, this is the end of this one. I really hope you've liked it. I'll see you in the next one.